Today I'm showing you some hidden details from the Doctor Who episode Boomtown from Season 1, which is written by Russell T Davies. The intro tells us this is a sequel, and I think you can guess who the antagonist is going to be.
Reduce the Earth to molten slag, then sell it.
I've checked the figures. I checked them again and again.
And from the accent we can guess that we are in Wales. This episode was the self-confessed budget episode, as it relied on pre-built sets and nearby locations.
Seems I have no choice.
I'm glad they got the reveal out of the way, especially when we saw her in the recap and we recognise her voice. William Thomas had previously played Martin in Remembrance the Daleks, making him the first actor to appear in both classic and New Who. He would later play Geraint Cooper in Season 2 and Season 4 of Torchwood. Neither Noel Clarke or John Barrowman are in the titles, despite being companions in this episode. In fact, John wouldn't appear in the titles until Season 3, and Noel's never shows up. You do still get trains with the doors open from the outside, but they are quite rare. Mickey seems to be walking from the Mermaid Quays direction, but any direct route from Cardiff Central would mean you'd be coming from the road. But I guess he is Mickey
the idiot!
Who the hell are you?
I guess Jack gets to put a face to the name. John Barrowman wasn't available on the day they filmed this bit, so Noel Clarke is speaking to a stand-in, and John filmed his shots at the actual TARDIS set.
I mean, I don't mind you hanging out with big ears up there.
Oi!
The second story in the row where they take the piss out of Chris's ears.
The rift was healed back in 1869.
Thanks to a girl named Gwyneth.
As we saw.
She saved the world and closed it.
The closing a rift always leaves us.
I wonder if stuff accidentally slips through from time to time. I guess we'll never know. Now, to address the Torchwood problem, Torchwood did exist, but they were on lockdown because Jack didn't want to cross his own timeline. And this episode takes place a month before the events of Everything Changes, so Gwen would still be on the police force.
Yep.
Why did he do that?
Jobs for all.
See, Rose, business with champagne.
Cardiff Castle will be demolished.
Cardiff Castle is a listed structure, so you'd say it'd be inaccurate that she would be able to demolish it. But as she explains later, she got rid of the Heritage Committee. The interior and exterior of City Hall was Glasmorgan House, and this is an actual toilet. This is the only bit of Slovene CGI in the episode, apart from the eyes.
Baby sort of clinched it. 3 months.
Mally Harries, who plays Kathy, had recently given birth, so it's ironic for her to play a pregnant character. Phil Collinson thinks they really got the Slovene right in this episode, and the prosthetic being a bit wet definitely makes it more convincing. The script says the newspaper was under an ashtray, instead of being actively read. Although I like the idea that the Doctor will have seen the front page easier than it being on a table, I sort of would have preferred if there was like some reaction from the bloke other than just looking away.
Okay, plan of attack. We assume a basic 57-56 strategy covering all available exits on the ground floor.
Well, Jack is good at instructions. He should lead his own team.
Ready?
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 Be done.
Phones? In 2005? Also, why did Jack and the Doctor have a phone? Did they go and buy them especially for this mission? Because I would love to see that scene. Also, in this section, they seem to use them as some sort of group call. Now, conference calls were a thing, but they were usually only 3-way. And if you wanted any more, it was only with certain carriers. Margaret's assistant, Idris Hopper, was supposed to be in Torchwood, but Alan Peddick was unavailable, so Russell Davies created Yanto Jones. This stunt was performed by both the stuntman and John Barrowman. The stuntman did the jumping when there was actually stuff on the trolley, but you can see John Barrowman's close-up there is not anything on the trolley. The height was achieved using a springboard, which you can see in some of the shots. But I believe that this is actually Noel Clarke. Goofy sound effects. Also, we barely ever see the Sonic reverse teleports. Now let's address this. Margaret is the Lord Mayor, which is a position held by councillors on Cardiff Council, usually in rotation between the major parties. People could say this is an inaccuracy, but she had 6 months to create a vacancy on the council and then become Lord Mayor. And seeing as she was high up in MI6, that probably wouldn't be too difficult. And also she can kill people easy.
London doesn't care. The South Wales coast could fall into the sea and they wouldn't notice.
I guess that's what devolved governments are for. Also, we all know why Russell wrote that line. Maybe London only care about cottage hospitals. When Chris grabbed the board, the crew were worried that he'd break the model, as they only had one.
Blythe Thrug.
This is the debut of the Bad Wolf theme. Also the first time they address Bad Wolf.
You deserve it.
You're very quick to say so. You're very quick to soak your hands in my blood. Which makes you better than me, how?
Because he didn't kill people and try to destroy the planet. This scene had to be shot over 2 nights, as it was so cold the fountain automatically turned off.
None of his business.
Ooh, the Doctor's a bit jealous.
I bet you're always the first to leave, Doctor. Never mind the consequences, off you go.
We saw this in the long game, and we'll see the consequences in the next episode.
I've got these. If she moves more than 10 feet away, she gets zapped by 10,000 volts.
This is definitely some kink shit. That's the restaurant they were at earlier. This is an actual restaurant at Mermaid Key called Bistro 10. This scene was filmed 3 weeks before the rest of the episode, as Annette Badland was busy filming Cutting It and they had to work around her schedule. After cutting at 3 in the morning, she immediately got in a car, went to Manchester to film Cutting It that started at 6 in the morning.
The Doctor took me to this planet a while back. It was much...
They're just down from where Yanto's shrine would be. Rip Yanto's shrine. I hope they put something cool up in its place. And I'm glad I got to see it.
I'm going out with Trisha Delaney. You've been away. You left me!
We really do feel for Mickey here, seeing as for him it's been 1.5 years since she ran off. And they never really broke up per se, but their relationship was definitely over. Also, it doesn't help that it was very cold when they filmed this scene.
Only a killer would know that.
The Doctor was supposed to lose eye contact here, but him tightening his gaze works much better.
I was made to carry out my first kill at 13. If I'd refused, my father would have fed me to the venom grubs.
We previously encountered the venom grubs in the Web Planet, although they were known as larvae guns at that time, but they were given the name venom grubs in the novelisation. But Phil Collinson considers them to be the same creature.
The rift's opening.
For the running scenes, it's not actually Chris Eccleston, as the shooting has to be rearranged because Billy Piper's uncle died, but it is actually Annette Badland. This is also a stand-in for Billy Piper, apparently a runner called Anna. Also, the ground were actually uncracked, then cracks again, when Rose is running.
I've disconnected it, but it's still feeding off the engine.
John Barrowman slipped into a bit of Scottish there.
One wrong move and she snaps like a promise.
The TARDIS console stops exploding during this moment, and Annette is wearing a very heavy prosthetic here. Annette really did have to look into a very bright light for this. I imagine her retina's probably ached. Mine hurt even looking at my monitor.
The heart of the TARDIS.
We previously saw the heart of the TARDIS in the 5th Doctor story Terminus, although it was much more underwhelming. The Eye of Harmony was also described as the heart of the TARDIS, and we later see a representation of the heart of the TARDIS.
She's an egg.
Regress to a child.
An egg with a Rasta haircut, as Annette said. Also, this is a reused prop from episode 2. Also, this was the last time Slevene appeared in a Doc 2 episode, but they'll appear in the Sarah Jane Adventures a lot more times. This is still Anna the runner doubling in for Billy Piper. I'd like to think that one of these police officers is either Gwen or Andy,